with the show. All right.
Nice.
Excellent. Excellent. So how's it going, Chris? How you doing today?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm from New York. It's not too bad outside. I mean, it's a little humid, but um, doing all right. Got a lot of stuff planned for Save. Just working on that. What feels like it's 24/7, but uh, it's good. It's going really good.
Excellent. So you tell us you're from New York. That's kind of my beginning. I always want to get the early bird softballs out of the way right away. What got you into Bitcoin and crypto?
So I got into like Bitcoin, I want to say about it was in 2016, so a little bit about 5 years ago. Was just super interested in what it was about, and it was one of those things where it kind of clicked right away for me, at least personally. I I saw Bitcoin, I saw the birth of all this fintech, and I really believe that it was the future of money and kind of like the internet 2.0. And whereas I might have missed the first internet boom, uh, I was sure as hell not gonna let this one pass me by.
Oh
So
yeah.
I learned a lot. I loved it. I fell in love with it and learned as I learned about it more and more. It really solidified my opinion that this is the future of money. It's in its infancy stages. Yeah, there's some missteps here and there, but that so was the internet, back in the 90s when it first launched. It's just how it works.
Absolutely. It's really important to me personally that you brought up the .com boom bust because I was just a
Mhm.
kid while that happened, but my folks were really into computers. So I got to experience kind of this hilariousness of one computer manufacturer exists one year only to disappear the next.
Yeah.
Did you personally have any like business lessons or savvy that you took away from all of that?
From
From the
the dot
.com
com.
bubble.
Yeah, so I was kind of like a kid like you were. I was like about 8 years old at the time, and we had a computer at home, and I don't know if anybody remembers, like there was like this Pokemon themed desktop. I had a gateway at one point trying to plug in the Ethernet cable and like get some internet from Net Zero, or the phone cable, sorry. But no, I mean, it's you kind of learn and see patterns, with the .com burst. You saw all these companies emerge, just like kind of what you said, to just disappear 1 to 3 years later, and a few of them survived, like Amazon or Netflix. But just how it is now with crypto, it's like in its infancy stages. It's still growing, and with that being said, there are going to be bubbles here and there that come and go. I was part of the 2018 bubble when everything was getting crazy and Bitcoin would touch 20,000. There were people that took out mortgages on their house and leveraged it on Bitcoin, and then they lost it all. That's crazy,
Oh
but
yeah. And
happened. It's gonna happen.
crypto, oh yeah, no, it definitely happened. And with crypto, these projects will come and go a lot of times faster than we can blink. In a more famous example that I can cite, a coin appeared on TipCC, which requires some substantial fee paying in order to do, only for the entire project to evaporate a week later.
Yeah, I kind of look at crypto like how I look at stocks. You have your blue chips like Bitcoin, uh, like things like that, tokens like that aren't really going anywhere and will probably be here for the long term. And if you should definitely structure. Well, I'm not a financial advisor, and this isn't any advice, but the way I
Of
look at it,
course.
definitely want to have stuff, majority of your stuff in some blue chips, and then anything that you invest in that's just starting off, it's more of like a risk. It's a calculated risk, but it's still a risk, compared to how I look at Bitcoin and BNB. So
Absolutely. Um, okay, so let's get into Save the World token a little bit. Just start to touch on the beginning of it. I'm really curious because Save the World has a lot of directions that it seems to go. It touches on a lot of different causes. Um, I'm kind of wondering about your all's decision process with regards to settling on your tokenomics. Was there a decision-making process that you guys went through, and is there anything you'd like to say about that?
Yeah, so in terms of the tokenomics, it's been changed a couple of times since it first launched. And all the changes that were done were suggested by the community members. We're in the process of building our own DAO, which people can propose different changes to tokenomics or charities that we donate to. But for now, they call the vote in the Telegram chat, because when we had first launched, we had no team tokens, no money saved for marketing, anything like that. And we donated all this money for charity, but we didn't necessarily have as much for ourselves. So the change to kind of save some BNB for marketing happened. I want to say now it was like in the last month, and I think since then we've been able to raise something like 35 to 40 BNB that we've been able to use for marketing, and it's paid for, you know, different media outlets, setting up our campaign for Jamaica, hosting AMAs, things like that. And if you're ever interested in kind of just checking out where the money goes, whether it's for donations or for marketing, anything like that, I'd be more than happy to give you guys the wallet address. You can actually look it up online, but I can send it to you so you guys can track everything if you want to see,
Oh yeah.
you know, how funds are being used for Save the World.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. I'm curious, how did you guys decide on BNB coin as the coin that you guys charitably donate? Because there's obviously a lot of different cryptos that you could have gone with. Why not Ripple or Litecoin, you know, lower fee coins? I know Binance doesn't exactly have epic fees, but I was just curious.
Well, when it was launched on Binance, and it was mainly done because of the lower fees. At the time, ETH was like hundreds of dollars, you know,
Outrageous, yeah.
You know, and it's hard for people to want to throw in, say, $10 or $20 if they have to see that gas fee come up. So we launched on Binance, and in a good way. In one way, it was good because it was cheaper gas fees. It was a lot faster, you know. And there was also a lot of hype on the Binance network. Cons to that we learned, it's a little bit harder to access. People have to learn about bridging and moving stuff over, and we've come up with ways to fix those issues that I can talk about later. But we donate BNB, but we've also donated basically whatever the charity can receive, we donate to them. And some charities, like if they're new to crypto, we walk them through the process of setting up a wallet. We show them how to receive the tokens that we send them. We show them how to cash out, how to send it to their bank or wherever they need it so that they can actually use it in cash.
So you guys actually kind of provide a little bit of front-end crypto customer service for the charities you donate to be like, hey buddies, here's how you turn this mystical e-money into cash.
Yeah, because at the same time of like just donating, we're also educating people on crypto, and we're showing people like, hey, if you thought this was a scam or you thought that it couldn't do what you think it could, check this out. You know what happens when you take pretty much a global economy and you focus it on a specific charity or a cause. You know, even if you get a couple of dollars from everybody, there's a lot of people, and so you can raise a lot of money for things that people can get behind. And
Absolutely.
Like our every single charity so far that we partnered with, like our community has loved, and we're hoping once the DAO is built, they'll be the ones suggesting charities that we donate to, and then we vet them to make sure they're legit, the money's going where they say it's going, and you know, they'll actually use the money for good, and then we'll donate to them.
Awesome. Okay. My next question. I've noticed that your coin does have a built-in hodler incentive, right? Where a percentage of transaction volume will go to people who are hodling the token. Are there any other hodler incentives besides the percentage allocated from the tokenomics?
As of right now, there isn't, but we're currently building something that we plan on dropping pretty soon. And what we plan on doing is building kind of this marketplace where we partner with different charities, or we've worked with someone like Anthony Hamilton, who's an R&B Grammy singer. We've worked with Michael Blackson, who's an actor and comedian. We've worked with Ndaba Mandela, who's Nelson Mandela's grandson. So working with them to come up with something like an NFT that we can then go ahead and sell, which can be bought by Save, and then those people can either hold those limited edition NFTs, or they can go ahead and resell them on like OpenSea or through our own marketplace. So we have things like that are being built, and we're partnering with some really cool people to drop that. And in addition to that, there's also a burn wallet where about 35% of the tokens have been sent to. So there's about 65% of the supply remaining, but that wallet is also a holder. So every transaction, a portion of that 2% also goes to that wallet. So it means that the tokens are continuously burning.
Fantastic. That's excellent. Okay, my next question. Your roadmap mentions gamification of Save the World token. Is there anything you can tell us about that?
Yeah, so we definitely have plans for introducing some kind of mechanic. I can't get too much into it now because we're still in the process of kind of setting up the framework for that. But yeah, there is going to be more information on that soon. We had that plan for when we first launched in the first few months, but other priorities took over and we were forming partnerships, trying to get our name out. And so we're going to be picking that up for the next couple of months.
Okay, very interesting. I also received an early question about what your upcoming initiatives are, so I'll go ahead and ask this question to because I believe Jamaica is on your all's list of next countries to receive some charity, correct?
Yeah, definitely. So we're going to be partnering with some charities in Jamaica, and we're doing this through someone who I met who owns a record label called BMU Records. They're based out of Canada, and they have a label in Jamaica as well. And we're working with them as well as Biggs General, who is Bob Marley's grandson, to work with a number of charities like the Dwayne Mitchell Foundation and the Jamaica Bike Life to help youth in need and give them educational tools, as well as bring a lot of food and tools to a lot of these villages and rural areas. I think it's really cool because not only are we going to be just going there and donating, but we actually have an official song by the record label coming out with these signed artists, one of them being Sizzla, another one being...
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's like, if you guys don't know who Sizzla is, definitely check him out. But we're coming out with this song, we're coming out with this music video, and we have an entire marketing campaign set up where that song will be playing on the radio. There will be interviews. There's like a mini documentary being produced that's showing all the places that the money is going and all the people that are being helped. So we have this really big campaign lined up with a lot of names behind it that support what we're doing and trust us and believe in us. So we're super excited about that, and we're dropping this song over the coming weeks, and then we're also dropping an official music video, which we haven't really announced the music video yet, but we're going to be announcing that soon. But
please tell me it's going to be cooler than whatever it is that U2 does and Bono does, because Bono makes some okay music a long time ago, but Lord knows the man struggles when it comes to advocacy, even though he loves advocacy.
It's going to be like reggae, dancehall themed. It's going to be
awesome.
Something from Jamaica.
Awesome. Very cool. Very cool. Okay. Well, now that we've got the lighter stuff out of the way, let's start getting into the more interesting stuff. Describe for me, my dear friend Chris, as best you can, the process that Save the World token goes through to decide on how a charity receives the donation. I'm asking this because many charities often have some kind of political bend, spin, or a flavor of partisanship in their home country. And I'm curious how your team would differentiate and separate the politics and partisanship from the charities and the good work they do on the ground.
Yeah, so that's a pretty good question. So when we first launched, we had a lot of people kind of coming at us, asking for money, asking for donations. And the first thing that we wanted to make sure, not only to protect our investors, our, ourselves, the money that we would be donating, we want to really, really make sure that we're donating to the people, where people are honest, and the people that we're giving money to, they're actually using it for good. You can go on our website, SaveTheWorld.health. You can see a list of all the charities we donated to. Go to their websites. We donated to the American Cancer Society. We donated to Act Now South Africa. They're an organization that stands up against gender-based violence. That's a big thing in South Africa and Africa in general. And so we gave them, I think it was about close to $60,000, and they were able to do these marches and deliver food to people's houses, show people how to farm. They rebuilt damaged schools that were no longer usable because they were looted or destroyed one way or another, and they went out there and they rebuilt that. They took video footage of all of this. They had a huge march with Act Now, partnered with Save the World. They had official merch, all this stuff. So it's like, not only do we want to give this money out, but we want to see what it does to people. So we always ask for proof of where this money is going. So we've received so many pictures and videos from a lot of the organizations that we've worked with, including the ones that we're going to be working with in Jamaica. If you go to our Instagram page, Save World Token, you can actually see some of the material that's already been produced with Biggs, who's Bob Marley's grandson, and the guy's name is Peter, who's from BMU Records. So
wow,
there's a lot of good coming. We try to be as transparent as possible. Every single dollar we've donated is live on stream. We go to the charity's website. Sometimes they have the wallet up there. If they don't, we work with them to get their wallet on the website so people see that it's legit. I copy the wallet from there. Everybody sees me doing it live. So there's no question as to, is it really going to where it's going? You can also look up the transactions, obviously. So we want to be as transparent as possible and build as much trust as possible. And so far, at least with the partnerships we've been able to build, it's worked out pretty well.
Fantastic. Thank you for that answer. That was, I think, exactly what people were looking to hear. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, it's time to get into the sensitive part of the program, folks. I would ask that everybody keep this part sensitive, and those of you with your minds made up, please come into this section of the program with an open mind. Your organization, Save the World Token, donated almost $2 million to Indian COVID relief, correct?
We did, yeah.
Do you consider COVID-19 to be a serious problem?
I definitely, I do. Whether, at least with Save the World, the cool thing is we haven't limited ourselves to a specific need or to a specific charity, so we have the flexibility to donate to different charities if needed. And when we had first launched, there was complete devastation that was happening in India at the time. And we felt the need to kind of step up and help those people in need, because it doesn't matter where you are in the world or what you believe in. Like, if people need help, they need help. So that was our first campaign. And we were able to actually deliver a lot of medical supplies, a lot of defibrillators, a lot of ventilators, things like that, masks. So we think we did an amazing job with that. We took care of a lot of people, and that's what Save the World is all about. So we've been in India. We've donated to the American Cancer Society here in the US. We've donated to Act Now in South Africa. We're going to be donating to Jamaica. So it's like we're not limiting ourselves to a specific area or specific people. We just want to help as many people as possible.
Excellent. COVID-19 is obviously an intensely divisive problem that dramatically affects people at different scales and levels of impact all around the world. Some people are going to feel personally that the disease is overblown, while others have jumped at the chance to take a vaccine and show proof, for example. Others have even still have seen their entire livelihoods, businesses, and communities economically devastated, while U.S. grocery chains have seen amazing cash flow and commercial growth. What would you, Chris, say to somebody who offhandedly thinks that based on their personal experience of the pandemic, reducing COVID-19's global impact is not a charity worth donating to when there are so many other problems at my home, in my hometown?
I would say definitely have an open mind and don't wait until a specific experience affects you before you have to know what it feels like to be in that position. I think it's important for people to definitely not have, kind of a mentality of about me. At the end of the day, we can help everyone, and that's what we're planning on doing. And just especially once our DAO launches and there might be a specific disaster somewhere, or someone really wants to bring to light a charity they're working on or they believe in, they can go ahead and propose that in our DAO. And even if, let's say, they're not picked the first time around, they can always try again. But more importantly, is they'll be able to post all the information about the charity on our website, so that if people want to go ahead and see what charities people are supporting, they can go ahead and do that. And it's all about helping different charities and kind of bringing to light, especially some of the smaller issues. So when we worked with Act Now in South Africa, we originally were talking to Daba Mandela, and we had talked about donating to the Nelson Mandela Fund, which we did. But he then went ahead and said, respectfully, the Nelson Mandela Fund gets a lot of money from a lot of places. This is something I personally believe in and something that needs to be talked about more. And it's gender-based violence. And here's an organization that has been working day in, day out to help fight this cause. But because maybe they don't have a name like the Nelson Mandela Foundation behind them, they don't necessarily get as much money. So it's like we want to go to places and help people that maybe have been forgotten about, or maybe people don't think they're as important, and and just give them help and show them, like, listen, this is what the power of crypto can do. And like I said, not only donate to all these people, but educate them about crypto and show them that this is the future of money. And if you start putting in, even if you put in, $1 here, $1 there, maybe not on the F chain because gas will kill you, but you put a little bit here, a little bit there. I believe crypto is not an overnight plan. It's like a 5-10 year plan, but it's something that you can look forward to instead of just working every day.
Excellent. With that, that was a fantastic, very exhaustive answer to my very complicated question. With that, I'm going to go immediately, not wasting any time, going straight to the pinned comments and questions from audience members. Jeff, the King of Potatoes, asks, are there any other projects that you would like to collab with or are planning to collab with in the future?
Yeah, so we've actually partnered with Mojo. It's an energy drink based token. They're the first token to do that. So I definitely suggest you guys check them out. And we're working with them to make an official Save the World drink and donate the proceeds of that to charities or to places that need water. So we've been working with them over the last couple of months, and we're getting closer to testing and production. So Mojo is definitely one. Another one is Giftcoin. We're working with them to integrate Save so that people can go ahead and send each other Save tokens and other tokens as well to people who might not necessarily be exposed to crypto, but kind of serves as like a stepping stone for them to get their feet wet.
Very cool. Wu-Tang Dan asks, what's the process for choosing charities? I believe you did go over that. But was there any, Mr. Dan, was there anything else in particular you want us to touch on with regards to charities? If there is, let us know in the chat and I'll bring it back up.
Yeah, just in case you did join late, really quick. As of right now, we talk to different charities personally. We meet them. We have a ton of meetings. We ask for documentation and proof. We sign contracts with them. And then going forward, we plan on releasing our DAO where our users or our holders can suggest communities. And then our role kind of switches from, I guess, finding or, working with charities to vetting them to make sure they're legit and the money is actually going to where they say they're going so that we can protect the Save community.
Excellent. Vermilion Vos asks, what stuff would you say you are doing to assist the learning disabled or differently ables, specifically in terms that work with Save the World token?
That's a pretty good question. We haven't worked specifically with that sector of charity yet. I mean, I'd be very interested in terms of if you have a charity that seems to do a lot of work in that space, is legit, and is open to receiving crypto, you can always pass me along their information. We can reach out to them and possibly set something up. We love people that can join us on stream, especially if they're the head of the organization or a celebrity figure, something like that. But we've dealt with cancer, COVID, gender violence. We're working with Michael Blackson to build a school in Ghana, and it's for kids ages 4 to 18, and it's a school that's being completed by next September, so 2022, and every child that goes to that school will be able to attend for free. So I think that's the closest we've gotten to helping a group of children. But like I said, we're always open to any additional charities that the community would like to see Save help.
Oh, that's a cool. I mean, it's still that you're pointing at a veritable impact, something that's tangible that people can see, and you can say kids are going to school.
Right, and that school will be built for generations. It's not something that shows up one year and is gone the next. It'll be there 20, 30, 40 years from now.
If of course properly maintained and staffed.
Of course, yeah.
All right. Darth Anonymous asks if there are any shareable marketing plans for Save the World or long-term goals that we haven't already covered.
I want to say that, yeah, so we have the song that we've announced publicly. We haven't announced the music video, but I guess this is me telling you guys that we're going to be having a music video with that. We're also going to be going to Dojepalooza, which is going to be Saturday, October 9th in Houston, Texas. It's a one-day concert/event that'll celebrate. It's Doge related, but there's going to be other cryptocurrencies there as well, including Save the World. We're also going to be at Miami Crypto World Con on April 1st and 2nd. I will be a speaker there giving a presentation on impact investing and meeting people, having a panel, doing a Q&A there. So we have those things set in stone 100%. And then there's a couple of other things that we are working on, but I'm not really ready to announce it yet, just in case, who knows what happens in crypto.
So things can fall through, absolutely.
Right.
All right, so the next question comes dutifully from Sergeant 13 Bravo, a dear friend of mine. Charities are rife with overhead, where very little makes it to the actual people who need it. How does Save the World help to control cost overhead? And does Save the World plan to achieve transparency so those donating can themselves make sure the money they donated is making it to those who need it and not lining some executives' pockets?
100%. So that's definitely one of the things that we look for, and one of the things that we're very careful about when we do pick specific charities. So we've asked them to show us the impact that they've had, how the money is spent. We ask for proof of funds, where they go after we send them the funds. And then the cool thing about crypto is if we need to help them set up their wallet, we can help them set up their wallet, and from the moment we send them the money to when they receive it, it's literally about 5 to 10 seconds. And I can honestly tell you, probably at the American Cancer Society, I can't really track That was like probably one of the bigger organizations that we donated to. So we donated like $80,000 to them, and uh, I hope that that money is going to where it's intended to. But in terms of the rest of the charities, like when we donated to Michael Blackson, he went to the school and he broke ground. Right, they're literally building an entire structure there with those funds, and it's not just our funds; it's other people that have donated as well. And we tend to choose smaller charities, uh, kind of like how what I mentioned earlier, kind of charities or movements that people might have not necessarily paid as much attention to. But we believe those smaller charities, and when we get to have those meetings and meet those people and talk to them face to face, it serves a better relationship and allows for money to actually be used for what they say it'll be used for, versus having it go to like a really big corporation where, you know, there's all this red tape, all this documentation and stuff. Like the money freezes at that point. It doesn't move, and it could be months from the time
But
we.
your team at Save the World, they're putting boots. You're telling me they're putting boots on the ground in these countries to make sure that the money's being spent properly.
No, we haven't done that yet. In terms of Jamaica, we're actually going to be heading to Jamaica. In terms of the school in Ghana for Michael Blackson, yeah, we're going to be going over there, and we're planning, you know, times and kind of orchestrating that. But yeah, the goal is to actually be at all these places that we're donating money to.
Okay.
I've been to, you know, I've met someone in Florida like 3 weeks ago about a potential partnership. I've gone to LA, possibly Vancouver. So it's like we do move around. We do have these meetings. It's not just I call someone on the phone and then I say, hey, can I send you, you know, 50,000, and then you promise me, you know, you're not going to keep it. We don't, you know, we don't do that. We try to take as many steps as we physically can to make sure that everybody is vetted and everybody can be trusted.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Um, I was trying to make sure Sarge's question got answered. That's why I was pressing you on that.
Sure, and if it wasn't, definitely shoot me a DM. You know, feel free to ask me any questions after the AMA if you do have any additional questions. Anybody.
All right. Master Halo 40 asks, have you thought in the future to work with artists? I'm imagining he means like painters, illustrators, etc., to help people in the world practice this activity, for example, and build an art school with recognized artists. Unfortunately, there are many people who want to work as painters but do not themselves have the necessary resources.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would be amazing. When we first started Save, and the route that we've been taking has kind of taken a musical route, just because of the people we've been able to meet and the connections we've been able to form. But we're always open to other partnerships if there is an artist that is open. You know, we've worked with a lot of celebrities in the past who are open to partnering with a cryptocurrency, with a charity. How we usually work with celebrities is, instead of just, you know, paying them a lot of money in Save or BNB to just pump the token, we typically form a partnership with them where we say, hey, we'll donate to a charity of your choice, you know, we'll vet it, and in return they come on the stream, or they'll give us a shout out, they'll do something like that. So if there's an artist that you know of that is particularly open to working in the crypto space or partnering with a charity token, we'd love to reach out to them, establish a connection, say, hey, we can donate to the charity of your choice, or if you have a charity in your name, we can do that, and you know, use this money for helping kids learn art.
Great. Artha X or Arthax asks a good question. If you would get request to help any people in any country in need, is there anything that might stop you from helping some charities in certain countries? He doesn't give any examples, but I could think of a few.
Yeah, so right off the bat, for example, we've had a lot of people say, why don't you guys donate to Afghanistan, right? And we'd love to do that, but we don't really know if there's a way that the money will get there, right? How do we know that the money that we send over, there's no control over there right now? We might have to wait for things to kind of settle down a little bit, but we for the most part, we go anywhere the community wants us to go. You know, they can always say, hey, check this out. And then a lot of people get behind it. Yeah, we should do that. All right, cool, we'll do it. But for the most part, we haven't really had any issues other than, like I said, the Afghanistan issue where we want to help people in need. There's a lot of people that need help. We're just not sure of how we can verify that the money that we send over there is actually going to the people that need it and not getting, not getting diverted.
Yes, Afghanistan is definitely a tricky horse to skin, as it were.
It has nothing to do with, not wanting to donate to a specific region or people or anything like that. Like I said, we've already donated on a few different continents, and we're not going to stop. It's just more of making sure that our community is protected, and if we send money somewhere, it's not going to come back to the Save community or us or anything where now it's like, why, where's this money going? How do we know it's being used correctly, etc.
Yes. And Sarge did offer clarification. He says, my question was more for Save the World specifically and not the charities they chose. More so, how are they controlling costs and overhead? How will Save the World show that they themselves are not lining their pockets? A good example is the Wounded Warrior Project that did lose huge amounts of credibility for skimming away more for their executives than they give to the veterans and charity.
Okay, gotcha. Well, I can tell you right now that a majority of the liquidity has been locked for 100 years. The only liquidity that gets removed for donations is the daily generated liquidity. So what that means is the wallet is a publicly, traded wallet. You can see it, and you can see anytime we remove the liquidity for donations, and then you can track the wallet. You can see, how much was removed and how much was sent for donations. Right, a portion of it goes to burning the token, like buying back and burning the token at the time. Now we're using it for marketing, but you can see how much BNB is in the wallet for marketing, and it's something like 26, 27 BNB. When we first launched the token, we had no team tokens, no marketing, no nothing. And in a way it was good because we were transparent. It was a fair launch and it worked out really well to kind of get the token off its feet. But in another way, we ran out of money and we didn't have any funds to do anything. So that's why we were working with different celebrities to instead donate to their charity, because we couldn't really afford it to pay them. And
yes,
it wasn't
they can ride on their brand recognition to a certain degree in getting the word out.
Exactly. So it was kind of like a win-win. And now, as of, like I said, as about a month ago, the community was like, all right guys, like maybe instead of buying back and burning $1,000 worth of Save, just hold it for marketing. So that's what we've been doing. And now we have like I don't know, like 30 BNB, something in the 30s for marketing. No one really has made, no one's skimming off the top. You can track every single transaction, and that's why we don't do it, because when we're working with different celebrities, different organizations, they ask the same questions you guys ask, but they ask for paper and proof, right? And we give it, and we show them exactly where everything is going. They look at it, they have their accountants look at it, and then they say, okay, we can work with you.
Makes perfect sense to me, boss. Okay, Gooberville asks a question. Can your coin, Save the World token, help move or get more non-crypto users into the fold? And if you think it can, have you seen it happen?
Yeah, so something that we've definitely seen happen, especially with our Jamaica campaign, is everywhere we go, a lot of people that we help don't really have money. So ergo, they don't really know about crypto, or don't really mess with it, or don't understand it. So we're working with a lot of different, or should I say, we've done a lot of different things since launching on Binance, because when we were first helping people in South Africa, in Ghana, in India, everybody's like, this is amazing. How do I buy this? And then I'm like, well, you can do math, and then you got to bridge it, using the Binance bridge, and then you got to go on Pancake Swap. They're like, what the fuck are you saying?
What language are you speaking to me? Translate to English, please.
So with that being said, what we did was on our website on SaveTheWorld.health, you can actually go there and we have a deck set up where you can directly swap BNB for Save, or you can use our cross-chain swap and you can swap 250 different cryptocurrencies for Save. So you don't even need BNB. You can do it with Bitcoin, ETH, Litecoin, XRP, you know, all the standard coins. And so we're trying to reduce that friction for people for being able to purchase Save. And then we're also working on the logistics for being able to actually airdrop everybody or every adult in the country of Jamaica with, you know, like $1 or $2 in Save tokens to kind of show them about Save, educate them, say, you know, this is what it is, this is what it can do for you. And we're going to be working with a third-party platform to kind of soft KYC people to make sure that the people that are, you know, getting the airdrop are actually in Jamaica.
Very cool. Okay. Zaciek asks a very poignant and powerful question. If a major crisis happened today, do you think Save the World would be able to donate or help immediately? Or are there bureaucratic processes that might get in the way of, say, like Save the World acting immediately to help a hurricane that trashed South Florida or Haiti or Cuba or any country?
No, like not at all. In fact, I think Save the World would actually be quicker. I mean, obviously, we still have a process. We vet people. We have to have meetings with them. We talk to them on, you know, Skype, Zoom, in person. But I can probably tell you, at least from the charities that we've already donated to, it's a hell of a lot faster than going through, you know, an organization receiving funds like donations, having that money be accounted for, all that stuff. It's a different process, you know, receiving crypto because it's so quick, you know, and that money can be donated, converted to fiat, donated, and be spent within 15 minutes of you getting that money. So in the process of, you know, us comparing to everybody else, we could definitely be a lot faster. I think that's one of the flexibilities in Save the World. And if something were to happen, like in Haiti, or, you know, like what we've seen happen recently, we can then turn our focus very quickly and just say, you know what, this week we're doing this campaign. At the end of this week, we're going to donate to a specific charity, you know, and then we'll find that charity.
I've been wanting to focus on questions from my Discord community, but I got an excellent question from Twitch. Mikey the Hun asks if there's been any charitable activities that Save the World regrets getting involved with.
Regrets getting involved with?
Yes.
Luckily, I can say not. We've worked with, I think now, close to 10 different charities, you know, or we've donated to. And I can honestly say every single one was worth it and made an impact without a doubt. Luckily, because of the people that we've talked to, the vetting procedure that we've had, we haven't, you know, sent money anywhere or that we regretted or immediately, you know, realized that we've made some sort of mistake, thankfully. And that's because of, you know, the process that we have.
Yes, and obviously we all hope it doesn't happen in the future.
For sure. We know the importance of protecting the community and, you know, making sure that they can trust us. That's a big thing.
All right. I got Arthix again asking, are you planning any IRL events to promote Save the World?
Yeah, so the closest one is going to be the one in Houston, Texas on Saturday, October 9th. We're going to have a booth set up. We'll have some merch, like some t-shirts, some water bottles, some stuff that you can pick up if you want to stop by there. And then we do have other stuff planned, like something, I want to say it's like really, really big planned, but until we actually solidify that, I'm not ready to announce it yet.
Okay. Is there, for the latecomers, which we have quite a few of them, was there anything else you wanted to tell them about the gamification that's mentioned on the roadmap?
I want to, but I can't just yet because then team be upset with me.
Gotcha. Very cool. No worries. I always think it's kind of cool when there's something hot on the horizon. And it's so hot I can't even tell you.
It's definitely being worked on, as well as a bunch of other things, but the last thing I want to do is say something and then we maybe change the design or something about it, and then people are like, oh, you said this.
Absolutely, which will happen in the world of gamification and game development. You got that right.
And crypto.
Yup. Tyfex asks, what do you think was the most impactful donation that Save the World has done thus far?
Oh man, there's quite a few to choose from. I want to say, while we did donate a good amount of money to India, I want to say probably the two most impactful were donating to Act Now, because of them just sending the footage of people. We were able to employ, I think it was like 80 people, 80 people from the town that might not have had work to restore these schools. And they did like these 3 marches. And that was really cool, because it was like, not only did they have, their logo, but they had ours up there too,
Yeah.
And a bunch of photos and videos of that. And the second I would say would be Michael Blackson's campaign to help him build a school in Ghana. Him breaking that ground there, and just like, even he was in Ghana like 3 weeks ago, just giving an update of the school, and the walls are being put up, and like I said, that's something that's going to last there for hopefully decades to come. So even if Save came and went decades from now, that building will still be standing there. And I think that's pretty fucking cool.
Absolutely, it's cool. I don't think anybody can deny that being able to educate kids who were not getting an education before is just an incredible outcome for any amount of money.
For sure.
Serial Killed asks, what, if any, charity do you wish you could have helped more?
A charity we could have helped more?
Yeah, that you think you perhaps could have done more for.
So we are donating to, we partnered with Jeff Kradikis, he's the CEO of Trust Swap, to donate to, we have a partnership with him to donate to the Eden Reforestation Project. And I think so far we donated about, $8,000, but we wanted to be able to donate $100,000 to have them build have them plant 10 million trees across, like, I think 8 different countries. So they're doing a campaign for that, and we have a partnership with them to donate to them on the last day of every month for 12 months. So that started in May. So we donated in May, June, July. We're going to do it at the end of August. And that's a charity I definitely want to help out more. But so far we've donated, I think, somewhere between 8 to 10,000, and we have 6-7 more months left. And I really want to hit that 100,000 mark.
That reminds me, there is a question I forgot to ask earlier that's been on my mind. Your coin, Save the World token, is, to your knowledge, it's the oldest charity token, is it not?
It is. Save the World was definitely the first token in the space that dedicated itself to charity. There were probably a few other tokens that were turning massive amounts of volume, and then they donated something like $10,000, to a charity. But we were there donating every single day for, I think, 35 days. 500,000, 100,000, 40,000, 200,000.
That's a massive volume.
It was massive, and it was the first token in the space, and we definitely created that new sector in the space. And now it kind of has a bad name in it because of all these other projects that launched after us that were not about charity and were about scamming and rug pulling. And a lot of people have a lot of doubts now in the charity space and, in general, because there's so many projects that just lie. But we've been here since day one. We're fully doxxed. You can find us on our website, go to my LinkedIn, where we go to places, we meet people. We don't just sit and type away at our computers. We actually want to help people and be there for that,
Absolutely. And that's why it's on my mind. A token as old as yours in a space with as many controversies as crypto sees, sometimes on a daily basis. Do you have any stories that you want to share with us about the survival of the Save the World project? And I ask that because anyone can go on the blockchain graphs and CoinGecko and any of these other sites and check on the volume for Save the World token, and we can all confirm what you're telling us, that the volume was very high and the cash flow was very high, but then everything drops off. I mean, you all are still there, you're still hustling, you're still donating, but there was that huge drop off, and I'm just really curious about that to see if there's anything you want to share with the community.
Yeah, for sure. So when we had first launched, we had partnered with a few influencers, marketing people, etc. And one of those influencers, who I don't want to really name or like throw shade
I'm
at.
not going to ask you to name names.
Yeah,
You can call him Anon if you want, Mr.
yeah.
Anon.
So we'll just say Anon was, given a whitelist spot or a pre-sale spot or whatever for 2BNB to participate in the project and help launch it. And because of the volume that came after that, like within about 3 days, I want to say, he was looking at like $1.5 million, and then he went and cashed it out in like, I want to say, in 2 shots, so within 5 minutes of each other, so it's like 2 transactions, $750,000. It was a whole thing. Like, he shut off his Twitter for a few weeks, went offline. Then his followers dumped, and all this stuff happened, which really, really sucked, because at the end of the day, the rest of the team is here, and we go on the stream whether we're donating 100,000 or 1,500, and we're showing our faces. People know who we are, and you had someone that just was pretty much, I guess, regrettably, that's probably the biggest regret I have for Save, not donating to any specific charity, but pretty much having someone who had no affiliation with the project try and quote unquote help us out, and then he walked away with $1.5 million, which fucking blows.
Well, it's and that's just such an interesting turn of events to me, as somebody who's kind of a neutral observer in the space, watching projects rise and fall without investing very much in any of them. I've observed rugs being pulled on my friends, other servers, entire projects, and it's important for me to note that, because Save the World is still here, and your team, the same Doc's team, is still the same Doc's team. Things haven't really changed. It's just that the volume decreased because a single influencer in the community who had enough pull and enough people watching his wallet, that guy dumps, so all of his fans dump, and that creates this chain reaction, right?
Exactly. And it really sucked, because then you obviously had people, right off the bat saying, oh, that's it, the team is dumping, or this or that. But it's like, we weren't, we're still here, we're still establishing connections. At least the people that we worked with, our partners that we provide documentation to, that we get on phone calls with, that we meet, they see who we are, they trust us, they know that we stick to our word. And we do what we say we're going to do, whether it's supporting them in one way or donating to them, or same thing with our community. Everything that we say we're going to do, we've done. And, 3 months later, we're still here. We're not going to stop, because I kind of see us just getting started, especially with organizations and charity. People are just now learning about who we are. And now, if they didn't trust us because we were a week old, now we're 3 months old, and we have a history of people and partnerships that we've established and trust that we've been able to build. So I would say, if it's your first time and you're looking at the graph, yeah, definitely understand what happened, but just know that the project's worth less than $2 million, and it definitely has room to grow with everything that we're planning.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'm really glad I got you to tell that story, because I just think that's so interesting, and it feels to me almost like a lost Martin Scorsese script, because all of that happened to your team in a week?
Yeah, it was like less than 10 days, the whole thing, and then we were left picking up the pieces, but we're still here. I wasn't going to just disappear and just not, the one thing I definitely want people to know is that they can trust Save the World and, the team. We're on our Telegram, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're posting all the time. We're very active. Anytime someone has a question, we answer it as soon as possible. We really have nothing to hide. And we just want people to kind of see all the good that crypto can actually do. And all these other projects that launched after us kind of mess things up in the space. But we're working to not only build Save back up, to actually like build this entire sector back up.
That's something that we're hearing from several projects who were doxxed, who are stepping up and coming in front of us. And I know many of us appreciate that position and attitude a lot, because there's too many projects that come into the space and think, oh, we've got just this hot idea. Everybody should just immediately platform us. Everybody shouldn't do any real due diligence. No FUD is something that I hear all the time. And hearing that from a project, that always turns me off, because if people aren't allowed to have healthy skepticism or ask any real questions, then the project itself isn't going to get better and grow. The community is not going to get better and grow, and everybody's just going to walk away feeling salty and like they got rug pulled when some stupid whale like Mr. Anon inevitably pulls out his $1.2 million worth.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, it's a hard lesson learned. I'll tell you that. If anyone here is in the crypto space, never ever just pay them in cash. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Don't give away tokens. Hard lesson learned. But at the end of the day, we're not giving up. We're not stopping. We're not doing anything. And we're actually just like doubling down. We're going twice as hard, because it's like, there's no way we're going to give this up.
And this lesson is taught at like every stream I host. Everybody needs to do their research. Everybody needs to know, is the team doxxed? Are they not? If they're not, why? All of that's so important.
Yeah, 100%. And we're all doxxed. We want, because part of the process too is working with charities, like working with actual charities. They're not going to work with you if they don't know who you are, right? If they don't see a face. That doesn't really fly when you're trying to build trust and show people that you're actually honest and you are who you say you are. So that's why we have no problem with explaining our backgrounds, where we come from, who we are, because it's just part of the process.
All right, excellent. Well, that pretty much wraps us up, the question portion of the AMA. Now comes the fun part, ladies and gentlemen. We need to figure out, with the help of Chris and our dear partner in the text chat, AJ, we need to figure out which one of those questions you guys thought was the best question. Which, that's hard, because this community, we're the wolves for a reason, y'all. We ask really good questions. And
that you did.
I would pretty much consider any of the questions in the pins to be eligible, and any of the ones I asked to be ineligible, because I am the host. So that disqualifies me and any personal questions that I had, and leaves the floor entirely on the community. Those of you who asked weak sauce questions, I'm really sorry. You're probably not going to win. This is the real deal here. We're hunting for the good questions.
Nice. Thank you guys, everybody, for coming in, asking those questions. If you do have any additional questions, you can always ask me after. And if it's cool, Nexus, I do have this video from Jamaica that I can share with you guys, in the Discord or something.
Oh, yes.
So you guys check it out.
Absolutely. This video will be pinned at the end of this channel when we close it after the show is over.
Cool. What chat would you prefer I post the video in?
Oh, right here in the Wolf Microphone Globe chat room. Nice. This one's perfectly fine.
Yeah, I'll throw that in there.
No problem. Yeah, this is the fun part, or the hard part.
Are you looking for a good question?
Well, this is up to you guys. I can help you decide. But the questions are in the pinned messages. Right. It's up to you guys, you and AJ in particular. Feel free to use the private chat if you guys don't want to discuss it in public, or you can make it fun and have your discussion in public, where the contestants can sweat and get anxiety.
No, hold on. I'm trying to find the pin section right now. Give me a sec. I
Yes,
want to
it's
say,
the little push pin in the top right there.
yeah, I want to say AJ should pick because I'm biased because I was the one receiving the answers.
He's biased.
For the
Well, but you're
questions.
part of the team, so your input is, of course, welcomed
Okay,
and
so let's see.
respected.
All right, I found it. So let me go through it. Let's see.
There were some great questions. Every question was great. I personally don't think there's any such thing as a bad question. Even the people who ask questions that were already answered, they may not have been here when they were answered. So I don't think there's any such thing as a bad question.
This is true. This is true. Let's see. I like the one about the overheads from Sergeant. I really
Got
like
you,
that.
AJ. AJ is being brought onto the stage. Welcome to the stage, AJ.
Yeah, actually, Chris just picked the exact same question that I just picked in the
Really?
chat. Yeah, Sarge's
That's a
question
good
was
question.
actually quite nice. The reason is because, like, one is it was answered from the front of just the charities itself that was misunderstood, but it was still answered, and and then he shifted that to the angle of just answering it from Save the World as well. So I don't know. I think it really, just to add on to that same question that was asked. Sarge, the question that you pointed out actually shows the transparency that Save has. So, I'll just give a very brief and quick conversation that we had with Dogepalooza. So the guys hosting Dogepalooza, they've done a lot in charities. And when Save the World as a crypto project highlighted the charity, the reason they started Save the World itself, and they highlighted their model, their philosophy behind it, how they're going to operate, and how money isn't actually really going to their pockets. The team put in their own money to get this project going, and in real world charities, as Sarge clearly pointed out, you can see a lot of money going in through the back doors and into people's pockets. And Save the World has actually outperformed real world charities from that aspect. They've put in more money to get this project going, despite being dumped on when devs and projects just leave a project and move on. They didn't do that. So I think that's something that's highly admirable about this project, and that's the main reason why I joined their team. And I didn't join the team before when they pumped, but afterwards I joined their team after they dumped, and the team actually kept working for a long time. So yep, that's all. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, the guy's asking who I am in the chat comment. Yeah, I'm just a team member of World who joined. Sorry, Save the World, who joined recently.
Thank you, AJ. Yeah, and
Yeah.
definitely transparency is super important to us because that's what builds trust and that's what allows us to be able to donate the money we donate. So, any questions anyone has, you can either hop into our Telegram, DM me. We have nothing to hide, and we just want to show people. Like I said, we're left picking up these pieces, and we're just trying to show everyone like we're 100% legit.
Excellent. All right, it sounds to me like Sergeant 13 Bravo is in fact our winner. Sarge, if you will please DM Headmaster Sybens, he will be happy to make sure that you receive your prize. Everyone else, thank you all so very much for joining us. This has been an incredible show, as always. I expect nothing less, but this one was particularly informative. We're getting in and out on time, which does matter greatly to me. And I sincerely hope that everybody who joined us for this came away from this feeling like they learned something. Last time I hosted this, everybody had completely different opinions, which I expect I'll get the same this time. Everyone's going to have completely different opinions. That is fine. That is encouraged. I expect people to disagree and argue and debate over the veracity and the transparency and all of these very important issues that we all raised. Because all of these are key things that investors have to take into account when you are thinking about investing in any project.
For sure.
So thank you so much to Chris Impact and Save the World Token for coming and answering all of our questions, no matter how crazy ridiculous they might be. Special thanks to Sybens and the team over at Wolves for helping me with the artwork for this project and making sure that I had everything I needed to make this happen. Additional thanks to the moderation team at Wolves of Wall Street for helping me manage the craziness. And extra special thanks to the community itself for attending and giving us their best questions, and most importantly, for listening to us. Because without you guys listening to me and listening to the people we bring on, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah, thank you guys. I'm very much looking forward to coming back sometime very soon to kind of update you guys on everything we've been doing. And until then, check us out on SaveTheWorld.health, on Instagram STWToken, and on Instagram at SaveTokenOfficial.
Excellent. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are heading out. Ta-ta for now.
Peace.